This may surprise you, even shock you, might even rile you up a bit, but stay with me because this is something really important to your life, to the quality, ease, and joy of your life. And often the things that do expand and grow us and our lives, they can feel a bit surprising, shocking, or even affronting. Here's what I want you to hear. You don't actually have a support problem. You have an allowing support problem. And I say that with so much love and so much compassion and so much understanding because the women I work with, they are all incredibly capable. They can handle things, they do handle things. But underneath that, they're carrying far more than they were ever meant to carry alone. And so are you. At some point, you learned that it was just safer to rely on yourself. Maybe support wasn't available or consistent. Maybe it came with expectations or consequences. Maybe you were the one that everyone else leaned on. So you adapted. You became self sufficient. You became independent. You became the one who doesn't need much. You became the easy child, right? And that worked until it didn't. Because here's what most women never learned. Okay. You never learned to regulate your nervous system as a child. Okay. So if you never learn to regulate your nervous system as a child, you won't naturally know how to regulate your nervous system as an adult, right? Becoming an adult doesn't magically make that true. Okay. If you never learn to regulate your nervous system to feel safe, allowing yourself to receive support as a child, you won't naturally know how to feel safe, allowing yourself to receive support as an adult. Because allowing support is not a mindset issue, it's a nervous system one. Okay, so if your nervous system doesn't feel safe receiving, you will deflect help, you will minimize support, you will override offers of help and support automatically, unconsciously, without even thinking about it. You'll hear yourself saying, I'm fine. I'll just do it. I'll handle it. It's not a big deal, even when it is. This is what I want you to hear. Okay. This is what I want you to take within yourself to like really absorb it if you can. Okay. So close your eyes if you need to do that, if that feels comfortable, or just like listen really intently because this will change how you live your life. And it's this: support is not something you earn by doing enough, by being enough, by reaching burnout, by being sick enough. Okay. And that's a real thing. I see that so often. Okay. Support is something you allow because it is your right as a living creature to receive support. Period. Full stop. No further justification needed. Okay. Your very existence makes you worthy of support. The natural laws of this universe, okay, the law of reciprocity confirms that this universe that you're living in, we're all living in, operates through a dynamic exchange of giving and receiving, receiving and giving. And since all natural laws apply to all living beings, they apply to you. When you resist them, you are going against the natural laws of the universe. You are making your life harder than it needs to be, harder than it's meant to be. You are denying yourself support. You are blocking yourself from receiving. Because what you're really doing is protecting yourself from the vulnerability of receiving. Because at some point in your young life, typically before 7 or 8 years old, you developed a survival strategy where your young mind determined the quickest way to safety was to not have needs, to not depend on anyone, to not get your hopes up, to not expect anyone to help you or save you. And this would have served you, like it would have served you until it didn't. Because as an adult, blocking yourself from receiving support also blocks you from receiving love, joy, ease, abundance, freedom. Okay? Because receiving is receiving is receiving. So if your walls are up, you're blocking everything. Okay? If you do not feel safe receiving support, you will also not feel safe receiving joy and love and ease and abundance. And allowing doesn't mean that you suddenly become someone who depends on everyone. Okay? That's not it at all. It means that with recognition of this survival pattern that once helped you, but now hinders you, you can consciously begin loosening your grip just enough to let support in, just enough to let your nervous system realize, oh, I'm still safe if I allow myself support. Okay. When you allow yourself to be supported, even in a small way, it expands your nervous system's capacity to feel safe receiving support. Okay. So here's what I want you to consciously allow yourself this week. Okay. Let one thing be easier by letting someone help you. Okay. And then don't fix how they do it. Don't over explain your request. Don't rush in and take it back. Okay. Because that's the survival pattern, trying to regain control. Okay. So I just want you to let one thing be easier this week by letting someone help you. Okay. And just allow yourself to receive the support, the help, and just notice what comes up because that's the real work. Okay. Because your nervous system's going to fight you on it because it's trying to maintain what it thinks is safety. Okay. So it's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. Just notice it. Okay. Because what we're doing is we're just letting our nervous system realize, oh, I allowed myself to receive. I allow myself to receive support. I allowed myself to receive help. And I'm still safe. Okay. I didn't die. I'm still safe. Okay. When your nervous system expands, when it feels safe allowing, your life expands. You stop carrying so much alone. Okay. And what that means for your life is less resentment, less anger, less fatigue, less inflammation in your body, less illness, less burnout, less breakdowns. Okay. It means experiencing more calm, feeling more supported by life versus feeling like you're the one supporting life. Okay. This is the kind of shift we make together inside my work, not by forcing change, but by creating the safety your nervous system actually needs to receive support. Okay. More support, more ease, more joy, more love, more abundance, more life. Okay. Because you were never meant to carry it all alone. You were meant to be supported. Okay. And until next time, remember, resigned is not your destiny, and something significant is absolutely going to happen today. So expect it and celebrate it.